Everybody, and welcome back. All right, before I forget, let me finish texting. Hold on. I always forget to do this. I normally meant to do it ahead of time, and I just always forget. All right, cool beans. All right, so I'm having a brain fart. All right, guys. So today we're gonna go back and continue drawing some of these concept art for Astrocats. As usual, guys, go ahead showing some love to Stream Beats. This is their lo-fi edition. Also, you guys know that we are on Facebook. Okay, so if you're on Facebook, we're on there. We keep posting stuff. So yes, please check us out. We go under Astrocats. Also, you can look up Captain Hobbes. It should pop out. And then, as you guys know, we're also on YouTube. We're currently working on this. What we're trying to do right now is, what we're going to be doing is, as you can see down here, I'm starting to add some more of the, hello? Are you going to scroll down? I guess not. I guess it just said GTFO. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. So we've been adding some more of the videos. These are some of the videos that you see me making here on Twitch. And then what I'm going to do is at the end of the month, I'm just going to kind of put them up on the YouTube channel as well. So instead of you kind of having to kind of skip around through my channel, then you can put in the background at your own leisure. You can listen to me jabber, whatever you want to do. But we're trying to put them both on my Twitch, but because this is Astrocat-based content, I'm trying to put it over there. I just find it easier streaming on Twitch instead of me having to set up one YouTube and this and that. So I just find it easier for me to do this. But it is a work in progress. We are creating more content. So yeah, so it is getting done little by little, guys. All right, so today we're going to explore another crazy species. Let me lower down the audio on this. Yeah, I like the music, but sometimes it's a bit much for my ears, especially by the end of the day. So this species is called the Trolculious. And technically, these are jerks of outer space. Not enough power to take over any planets, but just enough power to be a pain in the ass. So yeah, so I was kind of thinking about this for a little bit there. And at first I wanted to do, me coming from Florida, I was thinking mosquitoes, but mosquitoes, I'm coming from the tropic. We have something called dengue. And they can easily transfer all kinds of diseases, like really quick. Literally can kill people. So I'm just like, they can still do some damage. Annoying, but can do some damage. And then I'm going, okay. So from there, I started looking around. And then, Lord and behold, I found it. Cockroaches. Not just cockroaches, frat boy cockroaches. Yeah, because, let's be honest. The trolls have been done to death. So I didn't want to, I talked to my friend about it. He's the one that came up with the species. He's like, oh, trolls have been done to death, so how about we do something else? So I've been kind of thinking about it. We might end up renaming the species further down, but for right now, it's pretty much just going to be this. Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to show the logo there. I used to be a CG member. I'm not anymore for a reason. Anyway. So let's go ahead and kind of get started. So what I especially wanted to do is something called, if you get bored, it's called a giant hissing cockroach. And these things, they have the ones that just they literally hiss. And then there's what's called the flying palmetto bugs. So I grew up with those in Florida. They're not harmful, but they will, it's the only time you will see me sprint at full speed down the street. So let me see. Flying palmetto bugs. And by the way, you do hear them coming. These things are horrifying. They're literally cockroaches, but they fly. And you can hear them coming. And you're just like, gross. Okay. So, the first one I'm going to try is doing the hissy cockroaches. These things are actually pretty neat. So, if you ever seen them, they look kind of like this. They look like a giant tick. That's pretty much what they look like. Most of the front is kind of dark, and then they have this really interesting shell. They have these really thick legs. This is why I said you know, like frat boy. And then they have these like really disgusting antennas in the front. That's pretty much your standard hissing cockroach. I'm having a hard time just looking at this. They just look like giant ticks. So it goes from black to like this like rich like brownish tone, and then they have these little dots. Okay, so that's just to kind of give me an idea what I'm thinking of working on. So that is the hissing, and it's calling hiss. And then you have, let me go ahead and move away. Let me move this guy over here. This is just ref. And again, it's always good to start with ref. The reason why I'm not showing you guys photos is because I don't want to get flagged for copyright. So I don't have a picture of these bugs on me. I have seen them in person. So yes. And then you have your standard. It looks like a cockroach. Except that these bitches fly. Right, they are just disgusting. They got the big... These are the ones that we've seen. Yeah, a lot of them don't fly, but these fly. They're gross. Okay, so this is flying. I'm going to call them fly, so that way I know my reference. Okay, so I'm going to set this over here to the side. Okay, and I'm going to create a brand new layer. Okay, now I want to add the frat boy. So maybe I can kind of find something in between where it looks like they're wearing a shirt, but they're not wearing. Like, think of the little spaghetti like tops that like you see like these frat guys wear. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to take a look at this. Okay, so you think of frat boy. You know, let's kind of reverse this a little bit. Alright, so I'm gonna probably borrow the beefy legs from the hissing cockroach. Because they do have these like super beefy. I know, it looks like a turkey. And they're actually gonna have the legs there. It's gonna have the hat. And then the wings, what I'm probably gonna have them, it's gonna look like it just kind of comes over here, but it splits in half. So it's going to be a little bit like these bat wings. Remember, these are aliens. They don't have to be exactly like the actual design. Okay, they're these made-up species. It's just based on different critters. It's like, yeah. There you go. So just annoying enough. And then these dudes are hackers. Keep in mind, I have met plenty of jocks that are... They're in good shape. You wouldn't think they're computer nerds. They are computer nerds, and I know because I went to CGRAPH 1 year. ACM CGRAPH, Association of Computer Machinery, Special Interest Groups for Graphics. I finally saw a whole new type of nerd that I didn't think it existed. Is buff nerds. I never seen anything like it until I went to like San Diego, Los Angeles. It's because there's like a huge health culture over there. And I saw them, just these, they look like the guy that plays The Witcher in, like, I can't remember his name right now, Calvin something, I can't remember his name. I love him as an actor because he's hot. I ain't gonna lie, he's hot. Okay? But yeah, I saw it, and they're freaking nerds. Every single one of them, and I'm just like, what kind of paradise is this? They're good looking and they're nerds? Nah, this ain't real. No, they were real. They were very real. So, yes. Okay, so that right there is pretty good right there. So I kind of like that. I kind of like that right there. Now you can have it. So it's got more of the lanky look to it. And this one will have a little bit more of the cockroach body. Let me see. Let me make that right there. And again, I like to just kind of play around with this a little bit. I still like to keep the whole kind of gross foot thing. I think that's actually That makes it, it's starting to look a little bit more like District 9 more than anything. But it's pretty good to have these like different options. These guys were like drinking soda. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah. We don't know why they got shorts. And like spaghetti top. They have the shell necklace. But then back here, they'll have like their wings. So these are more like the flying cockroach type back here. Okay, so that right there is another option. Okay, again, and these are just me just roughing out some ideas. These are not finite. It's just getting some concepts down on paper. Okay, and I'm gonna move these over here. And again, this is great. This is that stage where you shouldn't be scared. You're just throwing spaghetti on the wall, you know, and that's fine. That's fine. Okay, now we also have Chunky Boy here. Because remember, you ever seen a hissing cockroach? You know, they're kind of chunky. There we go. Got the little necklace. I might get rid of that down the line. But I still like the fact that their wings is like their shirt. Like, I don't know why, I still like that premise. So it looks like it's kind of hidden. So I'm going to go over here. So it's going to look like a V-cut. And then he's wearing little shorts. Okay, I kind of like that little dude right here. So, probably really liking this little short stubby dude down here. Don't ask me questions, man. Just roll with it. Okay. Alright, so that one's pretty cool. This one's pretty cool. This one's okay. But, again, I'm just kind of sketching things out. We'll see where this goes. Okay. And then, let me look at some of these references. Now, cockroaches or like flying palmetto bugs, these bitches are tall too. So, let me just make just a really long design. And the antennas would be up front instead of being in the back. And then when they're talking, you always see them kind of doing this. Because you're seeing roaches, they're kind of like, yeah, their antennas go backwards, but they also go forward too. So maybe each one of them is different. When they're having forward, one of them have crooked, one of them's missing part of one. Yeah. Not liking that flow right there. Really lanky. And then you don't see their wings until after the fact. And then the little spikes that they have around the legs are just implied. You just do like one or two. So it'll be 2 on each. Okay, so that's actually a pretty good variation I got going on here. I do want to try, let me see, let me go ahead and take a look at this. Let me go back and look at my references. Like I said, the reason why I cannot show you the references, guys, because, you know, I don't want to get hit for copyrights. Let me see. Yeah, and keep in mind, like, the hissing cockroaches, them bitches are huge. They get, like, that big. So, yeah, I know friends that they have them. They keep them as pets. It's kind of like... No offense to folks that like rats. I grew up in a farm. We don't keep rats as pets. We shoot them because anytime their balls drag anywhere, they leave like a trail of pee, and it's just unsanitary. But again, that's just the way I grew up. People love them. Everybody's got their own thing. I personally cannot do it, so I give kudos to folks that can love all those kinds of animals. I don't do rodents and I don't do bugs. I do think alive beetles are super cool though. Will I own one? No. So, yeah, no. Only. And maybe this is all that this is right here for the next one. It's just an oval, like it looks like a kidney bean with the antennas. No, I want like the frat boy. Yeah, man. Still like having the hat there. And then this guy will actually have the 6. So when they're hacking, you're just gonna see these little knobs doing this. That's the other thing you gotta keep in mind. When you're designing characters, you have to understand what the locomotion of it is gonna be. So definitely these characters probably need to have a screen that is right next to their little paws. So that way, because if their arms are just that little, that long, they won't be able to reach out to a keyboard. So yeah, or you have to kind of BS it by having them turn around and then do the keyboard sound and just kind of pretend that they're actually typing. So yeah, so I think this is pretty good. Pretty good option I got going on here. So let's go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. I'm gonna lock it up. Actually, before I look it up, I'm gonna drop the opacity. That's gonna be my reference, and then I'm gonna use that right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and start working on some of these. Start doing some cleanups. Okay, so this dude right here. So I'm gonna make these guys a little bigger. Let me see if I can canvas. Sorry guys, I have a small, tiny Cintiq. I don't have a huge one. I love the big, giant Cintiqs. I have pets. And they're expensive, and you gotta make sure you keep an eye on your stuff. So yeah, I just, I'd rather kind of have something that's easy to put away and stuff like that. Okay, let's head over here, start going to this guy and start cleaning him out. Okay, so let's shrink this down. Yeah, you were seeing cockroach eyes. They're not very flattering. They're like this long, elongated eye. For whatever reason, these dudes got like a smile. Like, yo, yo. Okay. And then from their hat, right there, you got their hat. See that right there? And then what you could do is down here, you kind of implied that those are wings, but you're not going to show it. It's not until they actually go to fly that you don't realize this is actually not a tank top. Yeah, this roach is swole, yo. Okay, so from there, let's give it that big beefy cockroach arm. And I'm gonna do the little spiky there. There we go. And then, let me take a look at a bro. Let me see if I can find a good reference picture of a bro. Bros. Images. Maybe Beach Bros? Beach Bros. Summer Party Bros. This is particular bro. Not quite a gym bro. not quite a, yeah, it's particular bro. Not quite a beach bro, not quite a gym bro, somewhere like in between. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep playing with this. Okay. This roach is swole, yo. Again, these are just gonna be implied. Then we'll put like a little circle there, so it looks like it's like a little t-shirt logo. Yeah, this roach is swoles. Alright, cool beans. Now the other thing that I gotta make sure, I need to understand that this thing needs to be standing straight. So I just need to figure it out. You can't just draw a character. You need to understand how they balance. Make sure no one's dying. Alright, nobody's dying. Alright, cool. Alright, so this way, if I'm looking at this right here is the center of balance. Obviously, even though the limbs are forward, the character's sort of extending back a little bit. I should have done a much bigger arch than this. Okay, so with this guy drawn here, I'm actually going to push him off to the side for a moment. And I'm going to exaggerate that line of action for a moment. So I'm going to go ahead, nope, cancel. Yes, I'm going to put that there. Going to turn that on. And sometimes you have to draw the character more than once. You know, it happens. There we go. That way you have that really strong line of action there. There we go. There we go, giving it more dimension to that pose there. Okay, so now that I have that, see, that has a little more rhythm than this. This seems a little more rigid. So right now I can go in here. Alright, I'll do that right there. Alright, now I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to drop this down a little bit. And I'm going to try to clean him up again. And again, first time, sometimes first time's not the best one. You know, you gotta try it a couple times. Yeah, but these are bros, so it's got those. It's got the hat. And some of these features will clearly be simplified later on. And again, we're implying that he's got like one of those muscle shirts. Remember, this is going to be simplified though, so But this is first concept, not to worry about it. All right. Go. I know people are gonna be like, yeah, you know, hackers don't look like this. Yeah, you know, you don't think they look like that. But I've met so many types of nerds in my life. I never say never. Yeah, does the average look like the geeky stereotype you think about? Yeah, absolutely. But man, just when you see one, it's like truly like you looking at a unicorn. You're like, what in the what? There's no way you're real. Oh no, they're real. There we go. Again, this might not work out, but I definitely I like this a little bit better than that just because it's got a little more rhythm to the pose. And again, this is just me just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall. My friend might come back and say, I really don't like this and I have to do it again. And that's completely fine. It's just part of the process. So this one is, that's my sketch. That's the reject. That's this one right here. Okay, so now let's move over. So I'm going to call this one post 1. Okay, now let's move over to post 2. And think of this one like the really lanky. This one's a little shorter and then tennis. And same concept with like the wings. Actually, this one, because you can kind of see the wings, it won't be as bad. So this one will actually be his wings. Now, obviously his arms are not going to be as jacked up because he already has more of a lean frame. And a lot of these will probably get simplified down the line. You know, he's enjoying his can of space beer. Space juice. So, yep. Yeah, bro. In this case, we might be able to just kind of do this like the Grinch. You ever look like anything by Dr. Seuss? They really don't have feet. It's like these little like pyramid feet. They just look like stockings. Dr. Seuss and his stocking feet. Just for simplification purposes. In this case, we're gonna see a little bit of his butt back here. And then in his case, we're actually gonna see the wings back here a little bit. At least on one side we will. Yes, cockroach eyes are always black. And we haven't really specified how big these characters are compared to Hobbes. So if it was for me, I would probably have a meeting like something rotten. I don't know. But I'll figure that out. I'll figure it out. It depends how big they are. If they're tiny, it will be maybe like a giant chunk of a strawberry. It just has like a straw stuck onto it. So we'll see. Nope. Let's go ahead and save it. Sorry. So many screens. Okay, I need to put this in the right folder. Okay, characters, aliens. God, what's the name of these aliens again? The spelling was like trolls something. Give me 1 second. Copy. There we go. So this is just for me to have it. All right, cool beans. So that's post number 2. So not too bad, and this will get cleaned out as I go. Post 2. Create a new one. Post 3. Okay, and that's going to be a little chicharron down here. Again, I like the fact that they're wearing like a hat. In this case, it's stubby character, stubby antenna. Easy to animate. And then the body, pretty simple. I could add the shells if I want to. I could still add that. Go. Let me see what I want to do here. Okay, nothing too bad. In his case, I'm gonna add some shorts. It's got the little short things right there. Okay, there we go. In his case, it's going to be just like a line across his body. There we go. See that right there. Little stubby little cockroach guy. And then now let's go ahead and work on this one, post 5. Excuse me, this is post 4. And then let's go ahead and boop. Don't know why I wanted to go with the teardrop look, but I did. I think it's because I want to go more with like the mellowed out look. Okay, I think that right there might look a lot better. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like that, kind of like a really chill cockroach. It's like, I know something you don't know. And again, I could be completely missing the mark. Since that's what I think would be a good idea that I presented to my client. They're like, nah. I'm like, okay. So first lesson I tend to teach my students is like never get attached to your work unless it's like a personal project. And even still then, if someone's willing to give you good feedback to improve your project, then man, take that. Of course, you don't have to. But, you know, if it helps your story improve, then yeah, by all means. There you go. So there's that little dude right there. Kind of like that. And then let's do one more. Post 5. Okay, and then we'll go back in and re-clean out those. So you guys, my process. I start brainstorming. Then I clean it, I clean it, I clean it. Today we're basically just doing base colors. Delicious. Well, let's do this boyo right here. There you go. Again, this one has more of the actual cockroach look to this cat right here. In this case, I'm going to imply the little spikes Just gonna have these little knobs. Like I said, because this is the good point of the story where you can really experiment with all kinds of design. Yeah. And there he's got the little belly. You know, in his case, like his wings are implied. So let's go with that. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and turn this off and then turn everything else back on. Okay, so post one, what we got here? That is trash. Yep, delete anything extra you don't need. Let's get rid of that. Not really liking that post, so we're getting rid of that. And these are the rough sketches. Let's hold on to that for right now, and those are the references. Alright, now let's go ahead and start playing with these a little bit more. So let's turn everything else off. Got this boyo right here. Alright, let's simplify them a little bit more. Again, sometimes as you're doing your characters, the more you draw them, the more loose you get. And that's what I usually tell folks is like try to redraw your character more than once. Because as you continue, your line art keeps getting looser and looser. You start getting more rhythm from your character. And you get it just looks more like visually appealing with all the rhythm and the motion, the flow. But you don't have to take my advice. You can do whatever the hell you want. You want to keep your first one? Go ahead. You may be one of those really lucky people that get it right the first time. You know, if that's you, then, you know, good for you. Yeah, this right here is kind of weird. Like, I know what I was going for, but didn't really quite execute it right. There you go. Alright. Nobody's watching, so I don't care. I don't care. So now, I know my line weight's a little jacked up, but I kind of don't care. Okay. So let's start picking up some quick colors right here. Roaches tend to be a brownish color. But you don't want to make it too dark that you can't see. So this is going to be a trial and error. Let's start with these colors and see where I go with this. Remember, it's not quite a hissing cockroach. You also want to make sure that your audience can see your character. Because I've seen that where people just kind of add like these crazy dark tones to their character and it looks cool. And then the second they take it off, like the screen they're looking at, it just looks dark. There you go. I'm going to go up here in your layer. I'm going to call this color. Okay, so let's go back down here. Alright, maybe I can pick something a little lighter. Let's see what we got going on here. Alright, not quite the hissing cockroach colors, but that's fine. Okay, so we have a brownish tone, which is closer to red. You want to do complementary colors, which is actually green. So that doesn't make sense for the wings. Alright, so, but maybe I do want to give him dark green wings. These are space cockroaches. Why not? Remember, in you know, cockroaches' wings tend to be what's it called? Iridescent, so they can be whatever color he wants. All right, so that right there, that kind of gets me the first one. Let me see. Do I like that tone, or do I want to go darker? Now let's try it again though, because sometimes I don't fall in love with the first tone. Sometimes I like the next tone. So, and again, this is just trial and error. I not to worry about it, to be quite honest. Let's try this again. So instead of going there, let's go a bit darker. Okay, how's that looking? Okay, that's now getting closer to the cockroach color most of us are used to seeing. Not quite black, but dark enough, and your character's still visible, so I kind of like this a little bit better. That one seemed a little too soft. By the way, my hand does feel a lot better, so I'm able to draw a little longer. The last couple of times I've had to kind of rush through it because it just hurt my hand, like all kinds of terrible. Okay, so we got that right there, and then now let's try this tone right here for the chest. Okay, that looks a lot better now. Look at that. Closer to more of a cockroach tone that we're used to. Okay, now if I really wanted to, let me see. Okay, I can either borrow this right here and turn it into its wings. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, but if you actually look at cockroaches, they tend to have like this reddish brown hue, like really reddish. So let's try some of these colors over here. Maybe something closer to this. Let's see what that looks like. I don't want to get too close to the values. So not a lot of contrast, pretty much all warm colors. Alright, so it looks okay. Remember, these are bros. You want them to stand out, bro. Sometimes you run into this problem where you're just kind of like, you don't know quite what to pick. And definitely right now sticking to the warm color palette. The green will look nice. Especially with the darker tone I got going on here. So let's try that real quick. Let's borrow some of this green. Let's try it real quick. I don't want to go too far into this green. Kind of works out a little bit better though. There we go. So I'm going to leave it to that, and then I'm going to borrow this color right here. Yeah, I kind of like that contrast a little bit better. So it could be a leaf, it could be like an iridescent color, But I definitely like it a little better than the red because it just seemed to be just a very warm color palette, unless that's what I was going for. But I kind of like to work in like the complementary tone department. So I'm going over here, I'm going to add that green there. Put that right there. Now let's try these color tones on the other guys. Okay, so that's before, that's after. I kind of like the after a lot better. Yeah, definitely much better. Seems to be richer, more bro-ish, more in your face. Let's go ahead and trash that. Okay, now let's try this dude right here. Let's go ahead and, by the way, let's select these two. Move him down. And again, I'm not too worried right now about overlapping with anything else. I'm going to lock these two right here. I'm going to create a folder. And I'm just going to lock it. There we go. Out of sight, out of mind. Now let's grab these guys right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can clean up some of this guy a little bit. Okay, so far not too bad, so that's good. Alright, the straps right here look a little off. Maybe he's got like the little bead right there. But I gotta be careful with these details. The more details you add, the more you have to track. Remember? Keep that in mind. There we go. Alright, I still like the fact that they got the little spikes from the cockroach legs. Okay, very simple, but it works. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some color. Yeah, now I gotta make sure my friends are not dying, because it's been once or twice that I've had to go. Okay, so... Alright, so let's go and continue right here. Now let's borrow some of these colors. I'm going to borrow that color. Good, I'm not looking for perfection. And again, you got to be careful with some of these more saturated colors because if they're a little too dark, it will get lost to your audience. So you're gonna have to imply that it's a darker pigmentation. And yes, screeching cockroaches have black bottoms, and I can make it black, but I think some of that will get lost in translation when you go onto film or animation or illustration. So again, those are my thoughts. I could be wrong. I could try it. There we go. Got that right there. Let me borrow this. So that right there. And then I'm going to borrow that yellow, and I'm actually going to use this for the wings back here. There we go. Alright. Will I play with more colors later on? Absolutely. Am I going to do it right now? No. Okay, let's see what kind of drink he's got. For right now, I'm just going to make it yellow. And again, I'm not the best color picker. I will admit that to the day I die. My exposure to color theory was quite limiting. A lot of the stuff that I learned on my own. But we did talk about color theory. It's just that A lot of people that know this, American colleges, because it's so expensive, they kind of rush you to the process of, like, you know, when you're doing traditional art education. So you don't really get to sit there and experiment with all kinds of different tones and stuff like that. You know, that's not something we get to do here in the States. That's what I kind of admire a lot. Like, I've had a couple of friends that have gotten the opportunity to train in the art colleges, like in Italy, and they literally tell me about their process and how much they have to do before they even touch digital media. Yeah, but you know, I cannot complain. There's plenty of people that will kill to be in this country, so there we go. Let's go ahead and do that. It's got a little shorty. Okay, I kind of like his line art the way it is. I'm gonna leave him alone. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to start coloring him. I'm gonna borrow from up here. I might add the yellow eye color into his eyes though. Let's see how that looks. Just kind of add some like high contrast. Ooh, maybe I'll do red eyes. See what that looks like. Nah, not digging it. Okay, let me borrow this color. Okay, and then I need a color for his shorts. Actually, hold on. I picked the wrong one. There we go, that makes a lot of sense. So let's try that for the body. And then I will try that yellow for the eyes. And then the shorts. Okay, so you always want to make sure that if you're moving around some colors, that you try to kind of add in more in one spot so that way your audience doesn't get stuck in that one spot. So if I would have made his eyes red and nothing else red, his eyes would, like, the only thing you'll be able to focus on would just be his eyes. So make sure you're using some of those accent tones. Make sure you shift them around so that way your audience eye can move throughout the design. Okay, kind of like my little shorty right here. There you go, not too bad. Alright, so digging that dude. Okay, now let's go to the next one right here. Oh. Alright, this one might actually fit the Astrocats world a little bit better. But again, we'll see how this works. Again, and that's the fun part about this process. You know, you just keep throwing spaghetti on the wall until something sticks. And yes, he has wings too. It's just we can't see it until they're flying. You don't really see them. Right there. My friend is having I'm not having a very good time, so I'm making sure he's okay. The arch can be a cruel mistress sometimes. While it's fun, the second you try to expose yourself to other people, the amount of criticism can be kind of painful sometimes. That's why I usually tell folks, it's like, hey, try not to get attached to your artwork too much, you know, just move past it. You know, if you're gonna do it for fun, do it for fun. Don't worry about what other people think. Alright, so I kind of like this. The problem is kind of loosen him a little bit. So let me try this real quick. Kind of like that. So I'm going to stick with that right there. I think I like that a little bit better. So he stands up. So he looks kind of like a hamster bug thing. Okay. So not too bad. Again, trial and error, man. Trial and error. Okay, let's go with this last guy right here. Okay, let's go ahead and increase the canvas size. Let's hit edit. Change canvas size. So let's increase it a little bit. And that's the beauty about digital, man. Like, people, when I tell them, like, oh, digital sucks. Like, no, there are some true advantages to going digital sometimes. Let me tell you what. Okay. Yes. Yes. So let's go ahead and add a new layer on here. Let's do that right there. Okay. Maybe I'm just really kind of enjoying this music and filling it in. Yes, I used the paint bucket to fill this in, of course. But this kind of takes me back to my days where I used to do like concept art using like Copic markers, or back in the day where the only thing you had was Prismacolor markers. Those things cost a fortune and they would dry out so fast, it wasn't even funny. I have a set of Copics. And yeah, they cost me a small fortune, but all I gotta do is refill them, and they're worth their weight in gold. Okay, so for this one, I think I kind of like this tone a little bit better. There we go. And then let's borrow this right here. There you go. Not too bad. Okay, I think the only one that doesn't have the colors is this little dude down here. I wonder what it would look like if I added... So the black one looks pretty neat, but I want to try something real quick. Oh. Oh, I think I like that with the red eyes. Okay. So I might carry that over to some of the other ones. So hold on 1 minute. Head over here. Oh. Okay, it might work for some, it might not work for others, but you never know until you try. Then what if... There you go. That's kind of interesting looking. Okay, so let's now head over to these dudes right here. These look like, I'm not sure if anybody remembers, there used to be an old MTV movie called Joe's Apartment. And man, when that came out, my mind was blown away because these were like singing, dancing cockroaches. Not only would it was gross, but the CGI was so well done that you're like, fuck it, I don't even care. There we go. This guy's got like the line. Why not? I kind of like that. It's time to get creative with some of these. Got the crazy bug eyes. Oh. There you go, so that's actually kind of interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and start numbering these. Okay, so number 1. Okay, and number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting right there, so I dig that. Alright, and even if it doesn't work, like I said, it doesn't work for the species, it doesn't matter. I can use them for something else. Okay. Let me see. I think it's probably gonna be down here. I really like this guy right here. I think this one fits the Astrocats world a little bit better, but that's just me. Species. God, I need to get the spelling for this because I'm gonna fluff this up. Okay, so these are the Trolculious. Man, I'm old. Okay. Trolculious. Seems legit. Alright, so yeah. And then just so they can kind of get an idea who these guys are, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to expand my canvas just a little bit more. Right now I'm almost up to 20 inches, which is okay. I'd rather, again, I'd rather just kind of keep expanding. There we go. And I'm going to, so then I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to got one more. And what I want to do is show what these guys would do. Just kind of like a concept idea. They'll have like a keyboard. You have a beanbag. Because, you know, of course, in space, beanbags are still the shit, even in space. And then as they're doing this, their little antennas just kind of keep moving around. And in this case, this guy's gonna have like the little beer hat. Just kind of drinking. As he's hacking. There you can see a little bit of his wings right here. And then he'll have like a game controller over here. They'll have like another screen back here. Remember, this is alien civilization. They have all this stuff here and there. And then the background, he's gonna have like a poster, like a really sexy bug. Yes, thick thunder thorax. There's something truly wrong with me. Oh shit. But yeah, but these are like frat boys. Maybe they'll have like, you know, like a food bag over here. So they're practically gonna be like these. I don't want to say gamers because I'm a gamer, but yeah. So there's gonna be like these, kind of like these cockroach hackers, kind of brosy, kind of dudes. That's the kind of idea that I got. And then let me see what else. You also see them like wearing like these like Oculus kind of devices as well. And again, you see their antennas kind of moving around as they're hacking. Oh, did the music stop? Yeah, it did. Give me a second. Let me switch it to another one. I want to do ambient. Ambient just puts me to sleep, like legit. Let's pick this and let's start playing. Come on. Play. There we go. And play this one a little bit. They don't have that many channels, but you know what? For the little bit that they provide, I am super grateful. So, yeah. And again, I like having the hat and they have like their drink on the side of their heads. Trolculious. They got their bro shirts. Yeah, so again, this is just me just kind of putting some ideas like kind of these guys hack just so my friends get a better context. Like, why does this guy look like a 7-Eleven like clerk? Then you might have one that he's like hacking. I mean, there's so many ways you could sit on like a beanbag. These screens just kind of move around them. Again, these are just ideas. Just it's kind of rough out the concept a little bit more. Will my friends go for it? Not sure. And you see like their tower back here is floating. It's just their future, so their thing would just be floating. That's their tower back here. There you go. And again, you see I like having the little game controller in the background. Don't know why, but they still got print media in the future. Don't be asking questions. Okay, so with that, that's actually pretty good. I think that's where I'm gonna stop for today because I want to make sure my friends gets a chance to look at it. Hopefully, no one's been commenting. No one's been commenting, so it's okay. So it's so good. All right. So with that, this is where I stop for the aliens. I'm gonna show this to my friends. I'm gonna see what they say. Probably come back. I'm gonna see it come back Thursday. The good news is, like I said, I'm down to my last room to paint in my house, which is this room. I'm debating whether to completely move the system out because like I'm really scared of moving my tower. Like I'm genuinely scared because like if I drop it, my video card can snap. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna like move it or keep it in the room and then just keep it safe and then shimmy it back at night. So we'll see what I decide to do. But yeah, no, I have to do this. This is the last room, and I've done everything else. Worst comes to worst, I'll just slide the whole setup to the living room, and then I'll just have it over there. So you might see like part of my living room as I'm like streaming and stuff. So that might be like an option. But yeah, no, I'll figure it out. But anyway, guys, you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining me as usual, and I'll talk to you guys later. Night night.